installation, I ended up using a 1/4-inch ratchet, a Phillips head number 2, 10mm socket, extension, and a pry tool. I did not end up using the diagonal cutters, but they might serve as a substitute for the pry tool. In this installation, I'm going to show you the easy way to do it, but keep in mind the easy way is not necessarily the correct way. The correct way, according to Lexus, is to remove the entire bumper. And that did not interest me in the least, so I created my own way. Starting with the rear, we go underneath and remove this plastic popper. Mine was obviously quite tight, which is good, because who wants their bumper to flop around? You can see some existing damage to my inner fender liner, and I'm pointing out a couple of places where the screws could have been pulled if mine wasn't damaged. You should only need to pull the top one. So by prying back on this panel, we can see a 10mm screw, and we'll go ahead and disconnect that. This is the area where I ended up using the extension. Once that screw is out, we're going to go ahead and pull on the fender gently to loosen it, and it'll pop one piece at a time. If the bumper is not loosening under gentle pressure, you may need to lift up a little bit while you pull. So now we've already reached access to the inside, and thankfully all of these clear corners are exactly the same. They all take a Phillips head number 2. And it's just a very tight working space, and that's why I use this stubby wrench, because it makes my life much easier than trying to take lots and lots of things apart. If you're trying to undo this screw at the end with your fingers, you might be spinning the washer and not actually moving anything. So now with the screw removed, we can go ahead and push it out from the inside. With the back of the light facing you, you'll rotate the electrical connection counterclockwise, roughly 45 degrees. If you're using this video to simply replace the bulb, never touch it with your fingers when you're reinstalling the new one. We're pulling out this old one, and we're not going to use it again, so it doesn't matter. Alright, here's a new clear corner. Much better looking. We can tell that it's for the red because it has a red sticker. The front pair have a yellow sticker. Before installing new ones, there's something we'll need to do to all 4 of these. First, we're going to use one of the existing screws from the old corner to thread the new ones so that it'll be easier to install when you put it in. If you don't do this ahead of time, it might be very frustrating to try and put a lot of pressure to use the screw to thread it while you're trying to hold it in place in a tight spot. So I made sure it was nice and straight, then I soldered on, sent it all the way home, pulled it back out, and transferred over the water drain hole gasket, which seems to be an adhesive lined piece of fabric with heat shrink placed on top of it. When you press in the electrical connector from your new clear corners in place of the existing bulb, it doesn't matter which one's positive or negative because it'll work either way. Great, it's finally time to install one. Except when you do, you end up noticing that it's completely loose. The existing gasket is not good enough to make a proper seal with this aftermarket model. Oh no! Thankfully though, you bought it from SC430 mods, so I already solved that problem for your benefit. Included with your purchase were gaskets to put on top of the existing factory connector, making it a perfectly tight fit just like it should be. There, that's more confidence inspiring, right? The last thing we want to do is put everything back together just to find out that it doesn't work. So before we move on, we're going to test the light and then we'll put everything back together. So I got the screw started with my finger. And I'm going to get the stubby ratchet in there Get that going. So I'm using my right hand to do that, but my left hand is pushing the clear corner in towards me so that I can tell when it's nice and tight. So we sent the screw all the way home and it gave us extra resistance, so we stopped. And then we checked it from the outside to make sure it wasn't loose. Now we can start putting the bumper back together. Keep in mind the tabs have to be on top, so make sure you're not pressing them underneath so that they'll break. Make sure that they go on top inside of the clip. You're not in a hurry and it would really suck to break your bumper. Next we'll put back the 10mm screw with the extension. You can see that it's got a sloppy amount of area that it can play in. So that's normal, because when you go to finish up and it starts getting tighter, you're going to line up the bumper with your fingers while you're tightening it down so that everything is all smooth and perfect. Looking underneath, I noticed that somebody didn't put the bumper back together correctly prior to my owning it. So now I'm going to fix that before I put the clip back in. So repeat the process on both sides. And now we'll move on to the front. You shouldn't need the extension anymore. And you'll remove 3 10mm bolts from underneath for the air reflector. Mine was missing one in the middle, as you can see. Then I'm going to use the pry tool to get behind the liner and pull it out towards me, which may make some people cringe, but it is plastic that has a lot of forgiveness and it will bend back just the way it came out. My tires do turn an extra 10 degrees thanks to Fig's engineering. A short steering knuckle, so I have slightly more room to play with than you, but my tires are also wider than stock, so who knows. If you don't have enough room, you can always remove the tire. Using the same Phillips head number 2 for the back as we were for the front. We're going to follow all the same directions, paying attention to the way we undid the old one, adding the gasket, adding the sealing gasket to the water drain, and then putting everything back and tightening it down. Once you're done, you can just press the fender liner back in. And we'll throw back the 3 10mm bolts from the bottom. Repeat that process for both sides as well. Now we can do our final check and see all 4 in action. And smile! You have newfound clear corners instead of those ugly ones that used to be there. Congratulations and enjoy!